Welcome to the month of August. We start off this month with a career article. My name is Brandon, and we have Gabe with us. Hi, Gabe.
Hey, Brandon. It's great to be here.
Gabe, we are talking about virtual environments.
Yeah.
Do you spend a lot of time in virtual environments?
Well, is this a virtual background? This
There
room
you
is
go.
kind of a virtual environment, right?
That's true. So you do spend a lot of time in virtual environments.
But I think the article was talking more about like video conferencing and kind of not being in there face to face with other people. In a
People
meeting.
working remotely, especially over the past year or so, a lot
Yeah.
of people have been working remotely.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't personally spend a lot of time in virtual conferences, for example, but I think that maybe it could be a part of my life in the future.
All right.
I don't know.
All right, we'll have to wait and see. Well, in your own experience, how important is nonverbal communication, especially when it comes to teaching? Because this article is talking about virtual conferences and so forth. There's a lot of nonverbal communication that goes on. How does
Yeah.
that apply to you as a teacher, a studio classroom teacher?
All right. Well, for Studio Classroom, we use a virtual background as well. But I think just because we're on camera, Anne Marie and I are on camera teaching something. And so sometimes if the camera is on both of us, then obviously we have to be careful about what we're doing with our bodies. We can't be too obvious that, oh, I want to speak next. If we're on the radio or something like that, then it's pretty easy just to use,
Slip your hand up.
to slip your hand up and that kind of thing. And so there is a little bit of nonverbal communication when it comes to teaching, and it has to do with the tone of your voice. And, I think really it's all about developing chemistry with your partner so that you know when they're about to finish talking so you can kind of pick up. Because at first you're not exactly sure when that's going to be.
Right.
Yeah. But
So it takes time.
it does take time. But when it comes to like teaching in an actual classroom, I think nonverbal communication is super important because you can easily see who is engaged, which of the students maybe doesn't understand something, or if students are bored or something like that.
You can definitely tell that, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, what about working in this environment where you have to, have trust with coworkers? That's kind of difficult in a virtual environment. What do you think about the difficulty of building that trust in such an environment?
I would be concerned about making sure that other people trusted me. I would want to make sure that I was communicating or doing something to make sure that I was trustworthy. So the article I thought was interesting and really helpful because it talks about delivering on your promises, right? Like if you can't rely on nonverbal communication, then at least you can make sure that if you promise something, or not even say the word promise, but if you say, I'm going to do this, that you actually follow through.
Commitments are important.
Exactly.
And following through on them.
Yeah, and actually, to that end, I think that delivering on your promises is more important than nonverbal communication, even in face-to-face interactions.
Good point. That's a good point for us to end on. We're all out of time for this segment of Insights. Check out our career article for more details.